What's up guys, I'm Red Rock and welcome back to the channel Bright-EYE-deas, where we talk all about blog updates, Marvel, DC, which we're going to talk about, personal stuff, and pop culture news. So, I just watched The Batman, and this is one of the best movies that DC has ever made. The visuals and the soundtrack, the score of the movie is just that. It's amazing that it is related to the character Batman. And for me, this movie is very distant than the other DC films, or should I say to the larger DC universe. Like other movies like Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, it's very distant to those. I mean, it's similar to other DC solo movies that it focuses about only themselves, about their story, that which this movie really describes the character of Batman. But we didn't get an origin story in this movie because of course it's confirmed that this movie takes place during second year of Bruce Wayne as Batman. I mean, I get it because I really don't want to see the origin story again many times. It had elements just like from Spider-Man Homecoming that they didn't show the origin story because we already know how exactly happened, so we don't want to go back again. I mean, honestly, this movie really also not only describes about Batman, but it also describes what Gotham City looks like, that because of the corruption. This film is similar to other mystery movies that I've watched before, like Law-Abiding Citizen, Brazen, Murder Mystery, which, yeah, Murder Mystery is quite related to this movie, and The Weekend Away, which that is the movie I have watched before watching The Batman. But I love all these four movies that I mentioned. They were great. They are a mystery thriller, which is similar to this movie, The Batman. It has elements of it. Even though that I've heard it as elements of Zodiac, David Fincher's Seven, which I haven't seen those films yet. And huge shout out to Matt Reeves, who is the director, writer, and producer of the film. You have a great vision of this movie, which I appreciate it. It's very fantastic. Also, huge shout out to the actors, including the minor characters like Alfred, who is played by Andy Serkis. I mean, he's amazing for that role. He can play a character that is a father figure, like a godfather, or a stepfather, or even like an uncle. Also to Jeffrey Wright, who previously voiced the Watcher in What If, one of the Marvel shows I've watched. He's playing Commissioner Gordon in this movie. You are amazing. You can play a character that is very strict, that like a policeman or like a commissioner. That he can play a character that has better knowledge or skills, like a detective also, similar to Batman also. Also, huge shout out also to the villains. First, we have Colin Farrell, who is playing the Penguin. His portrayal of Penguin is amazing, but quite a bit funny, like other comedy movies used to be. Penguin is like a comedy character to me. very funny character because of the jokes that he did. I mean, Colin Farrell is born to play this role, even though he's not fat like the Penguin, but they use CGI to him, just like Fat Thor in Endgame, that he has to wear a bodysuit. It's quite cool. Even the suit is amazing. Also to Paul Dano, who played the main antagonist of the movie, which is the Riddler. He can play a character that is a mastermind and smart. I mean, for me, he's like Heath Ledger's and Joaquin Phoenix's Joker from The Dark Knight and the Joker movie, respectively. So he nailed the role as the Riddler. He can play something horrifying that we never see before with this character, the Riddler. Obviously, Riddler and Penguin are one of my favorite villains in Batman's Rogues Gallery, which, well, we could see them again in some sequels. Even to Zoe Kravitz, who played Catwoman. You're amazing as Catwoman. For me, her portrayal of Catwoman is very emotional, but it's great. Even her fight scenes, it's amazing. It's cool to me. Even the main character himself, Robert Pattinson as Batman. Your portrayal of Batman is very phenomenal. But that casting for me is quite unexpected, but at the end it's a perfect casting based on what I see from the trailers. I mean, he can play a better Batman than the previous iterations that we see from Michael Keaton to Ben Affleck. Well, speaking of Ben Affleck, well, he was my favorite Batman, but now he's my number 2 favorite Batman, so my number 1 favorite Batman is now Robert Pattinson. Even though I will always remember him as Edward Cullen from the Twilight movies, well, his portrayal of Batman is just stacked that made this movie a phenomenal, very amazing, that I really love to watch this movie all over again. And so that's it for this video. Please like this video and subscribe to be updated on some Bright-EYE-deas. And so for my next Batman video, remember what I did in one of my previous videos, that I fan cast the Fantastic Four, but we already have a cast league which is down up under the list of names that I fan cast. It's quite unexpected. Except for Kristen Bell as Invisible Woman and Seth Rogen as the Thing. I mean, Kristen Bell can play a very amazing Invisible Woman. So replace Emily Blunt and Jennifer Lawrence to her. Kristen would be amazing. And that's who am I expecting to play the Thing, either Dwayne Johnson or Seth Rogen. And it's been reported that, like what I post on my FB page, that John Krasinski will be playing a variant of Mr. Fantastic. So that makes sense. Why would they cast someone else instead of John? But it's not confirmed. That cast league is not confirmed. So I'm still expecting Zac Efron for the role of Human Torch. But that's not what I'm gonna talk about for my next video. In my next Batman video, I will be casting 5 Batman villains in the Rogues Gallery that I really would love to see next. And also I will be talking next time in one of my short videos about who could possibly to be the main villain for the sequel, the Batman 2. So I'm excited to see the sequel to the Batman, which I hope it's going to be quite better than the previous one. but we're having a different debate here. That I know a lot of fans still think the Dark Knight is way better than the Batman, but for me, it's that this movie's awesome. So see you next time.